This is such a spectacular sunset, and unfortunately the camera doesn't do it justice, but it is just beautiful. Don't judge because I know I'm not doing this the right way, that you need to do the whole floor in one go. But I've leveled just a small area. I've put down the gravel. I'm now putting down some plastic, and now I'm going to bring in sand. My idea is just to pave like a strip along this wall so that we can put in the gas stove and fridge while I've got people to help me move it, because I'm not going to be able to move it by myself. So I'm not paving the whole floor. I'm just going to pave a section, and then I can carry on with the rest of the floor in my own time. But yeah, if I've got the gravel, I've put down some plastic to stop like weed growth and that, and then I'm now going to put on sand and then get it level and start paving. Are you two wanting a melon treat? You ready? Ready for some melon? Your favorite? Oh, you've been swimming, I can see. The two of you have been swimming. Yes. Building site.
450 amp hour.
Is that a lot?
Yes, it's a lot. That what I meant with yeah. So with the amp hours, you only use half of what you've got available. So you have 220 amp hours available, which is an enormous amount, really. Now this thing, you can change, and I'm not sure what everything means, but I do know that the batteries are showing 25 volts.
Okay.
So, which is good because you have a 24 volt system. My multimeter was showing them a little bit less than that. It was showing them around 22 or something. And I'll give you a little diagram later on. And then there's load. There's no load on there. The voltage amps, the percentage of the batteries, you're going to have to ignore that because they're always inaccurate unless you reset them regularly.
Okay.
So just ignore the percentage or use it as a very rough guideline. That's 50 hertz. That's normal current that comes out. And you can output 230 through your AC, which we haven't connected yet, but I'll do that tomorrow. And that's it, man. No input, obviously. Battery's looking good. And then the on-off switch is on this side. And you can just turn it off.
Perfect.
So,
my vegetable garden attempt is a little bit of a fail. When I planted the seeds in the ploughed field, and I labelled where I planted the seeds, you can see there what kinds of seeds, and I planted them in rows. There was not anything green. But now, as you can see, after the rains, even though this field was ploughed, it's now a beautiful lawn. So I don't know what is seeds that is germinated and what is weeds and what is grass. So this is a bit of a disaster, but I'll keep on watering it because I did put in some plant starts and they seem to be doing well. So yeah, what is grass, weeds or vegetables coming up? I have no idea. So I feel I can't weed it if I don't know what I'm pulling out. So I'm just going to focus on the starts, forget about the vegetable seeds I planted, and if they grow amongst this grass, then they grow, and if they don't, I know for spring I'm definitely going to use raised beds. I'm not going to listen to people who said plough the field and then you can plant a whole big crop here, because the grass and weed seeds are just too established, I suppose. I don't know. The minute it rains, they all come up. So, and to try and do no dig gardening for this whole section is going to be a lot. So I think raised garden beds is going to be the way to go in the future. That, of course, I have to still try and rebuild this mangled greenhouse that was, yeah, blown across to the neighbors in the wind. But I'll still keep watering, even though I'm probably watering grass and weeds. And my drip irrigation system here is going well. So my orchard is looking quite good. But there's, once again, it's with the rains, this is all weeds and stuff. But I also, before the weeds started, I had scattered marigold seeds. So now I don't know what is marigold seeds, marigold plants, and what is weeds. So next year I know to do things differently. This was my no-dig gardening attempt in the orchard. I don't know if these are the melon seeds that have germinated coming up, or if weed seeds have just blown in and have started germinating. That part is definitely weeds coming up, but the rest of it, now I don't know. because I don't know what the plants look like. Persimmon tree seems to be losing its leaves. I'm hoping it's just losing the leaves for winter. Just love being on the land. So peaceful, and you can just hear the birds singing. As crazy as it sounds, I've just realized that this tree in the front of the house is an olive tree, and the olives are actually ready for picking. I need to check on the trees in the olive grove. Steve is on the roof, balancing very carefully, cutting the hole for the wood burner. Okay, so this is inside, busy making the hole for the wood burner. Okay, spirit level.
Right, what I need is some very stiff wire, a coat hanger or something. Some fencing wire.
Okay, change of plan. So although I managed to get this line level, it's just way too much sand I'd have to put in, so I need to put down more gravel. So rather than rush to get like a strip done to put the fridge and the stove in, we're just going to move the fridge and the stove into this kitchen area, and then it'll be easier for me to move it into place once the floor is done. That's the plan. New plan. More gravel. Okay, so I've lifted up the plastic, and you can see the height. There's the height. Let me get a ruler. So let's measure this with a ruler. Basically, it's about 20 centimeters, and I can't have 20 centimeters of sand. Right. Let me just measure. This is about 5.5. So 6 centimeters thick. So we're going to lift 2 up.
Yeah, so I can get to the connectors behind it.
Okay. We're putting the plastic on so that we don't overwhelm the inverter.
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then once it's all plugged and connected to the inverter, then we'll remove the plastic and tilt the panels.
You fluffed it off again. Yeah, let's just check it. I'll work it up here. I'll put 230.
Well, I don't know if those beeps are good sounds or bad sounds.
It's just me
They're just sounds.
scrolling through, yeah. Charge light is not. So that must be the inverter switch on. But they should to really understand what the programs are on it.
Mary Poppins is sitting watching the solar being installed. Mary Poppins is following us everywhere. So sometimes on a farm plans change, and what I'd planned to do today I've now got to do something else because Oreo and Cocopop broke out again last night, but luckily my lovely volunteers managed to herd them back. So my idea is I've cut this big plastic sheet into strips, and I'm going to put this at the bottom because I have read somewhere that if they see something that looks solid at the bottom, then they might not try and get through it. It's worth a go, and this plastic costs next to nothing. He's naughty too this morning. Cocopop keeps trying to eat whatever I'm trying to put up, so I've got to now try and distract her with acorns, and then one of my volunteers is going to help while I try and distract them with acorns over here because they are just too curious. So I'm going to sort of like drip feed them acorns. And Cocopop has already been looking today to see how to get out again. I've got to just get the 12-volt battery for the electric fence. I just haven't had a chance to do that. Yes, Cocopop. Oreo is quite happy to just stay here and hang around, but Cocopop is the one always wanting to do the breakout, and then Oreo just follows. He's a follower. You wouldn't say that after he just attacked her. Pushed her away. Yes, Cocopop. You're a naughty girl, you are. I've changed from the plastic to the weed matting that I never used. We're putting that up instead. So this glove, gardening glove, is also a pig scratching glove. Do you want some more scratches, Oreo? Come here. You want some more scratches? Yes, you like getting the scratches, eh? Come here, closer. There we go. There we go. Oh, he loves it. Pigs. An awesome I do it off-grid t-shirt like Luke is modeling, you can get this off my website. This is some of the merch that I'm selling, and the link for this will be in the description below.
It's definitely cleaner than this one.
So this eucalyptus is going to be used as the cordwood for my kitchen build, the walls. But I will only be using these in about March once they've dried out nicely. We've been sort of mostly debarking them as we've been chopping them up. So the bigger ones we are cutting, or the thicker trunks we're cutting into 50 centimeter width, because that's the thickness of the walls. And then some of the thinner ones we just keeping as long poles to use for different building projects. Right, the first snake I've seen in Portugal, and it's a dead snake. Driving in this morning, it is so much better with these trees that were right on the road, making the road very narrow. This is going to be much better for trucks to be able to come in now if I need trucks to bring deliveries. And you can see I've just got to collect up the piles of eucalyptus. I've got pine firewood for next year that I can dry for next year. We've still got some more eucalyptus to saw up. Luke will be coming back today to do that. So if you see, this is all my cordwood that I will now be drying, and these are just nice long poles I can use for building for some kind. But look how stunning this cordwood is going to be. Can you imagine this in the wall of my kitchen and eventual spare bedroom as well, which will be next to the kitchen, because that ruin will be rebuilt with cordwood as well. Yeah, so we've debarked it and cut it into the lengths. This is amazing how thick these walls are, 50 centimeters. So we worked out 50 centimeter lengths. Still more to cut up though. I think there's still another tree over here, and we're also going to cut those stumps down a little bit more. Wood burner for winter is now all set up. Right, started collecting pine cones, but started loading some of the pine Luke cut up for me yesterday into more or less 30 centimeter pieces or smaller for the wood burner. But this will now start the drying process, so this wood will be ready for next year's winter. It needs to dry before I use it in the wood burner. Fridge is now
Plugged in here.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going over to the inverter on the other side. And it is a bit looser, so we can get smaller ones.
And there's okay. And now, so if we, how do we switch it on and make it work?
Okay, so that has no switch on it yet. We can put a switch on here when I come back next week. At the moment, it's switched on by simply switching on the fuse on the fuse board.
Oh, so you can do that now?
I am. Just going to pull this guns out of here. Plug it in and out.
Okay, that's a temporary socket.
Yep.
And this is temporary because we need to get more
more breakers on it, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn the inverter on now, then we'll turn the switches on. I've earthed it. I've got the earth rod in outside.
Okay.
So everything's earthed.
So that's the residual current device.
Yeah. And that is your tester, so make sure that it's going off. So if you get any electrical problems, that will pop really quickly. But then so will these. So this one,
the
temporary one, and that is the fridge, which should now be on.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, you can hear it. And let there be light in the fridge. Yoo-hoo! Beautiful. Excellent. The fridge is there. The stove is ready to get a gas bottle. It's all happening. Okay, it's working. We just got to seal the top there now, eh? Beautiful. I think I nearly burst a valve pushing this wheelbarrow. But this is some of last year's wood that is now very, very dry. And I'm going to put it in that spot over there in the kitchen. So it can be kept dry if it rains, and for easy access for my wood burner, which is working. Is I've tied this builder's string around a paving stone. I've put it on the lowest rock on the step over there, and if I take it and tie it onto another rock, a brick, and then use the level, I should be able to get the level of sand I need to put in. Maybe, don't know.